dads are Union Pacific Railroad people.
They can handle it!
For years, Union Pacific has thrilled children, young and old, with their miniature train at parades, family days, and special events. The realism that is built into the train draws stares whenever it takes to the streets. Of all of the showstoppers that Union Pacific has in its stable, next to the steam power, this is it. But like the original locomotive that this unit was modeled after, certain things have to be done to keep the train running in good order. After all, a lot of people are looking forward to seeing the train run at your event, and we wouldn't want to see them disappointed by either a breakdown or personal injury. Because the train is now sent out without trained personnel to maintain and operate it, this video has been produced by the Salt Lake Diesel Shop to help you safely keep the train rolling, not only for your event, but for the next one down the line. The first thing to know is where and how to unload the train. Because the mini engine is built on a solid tire chore boy, it is limited to flat hard surfaces such as parking lots and asphalt roadways. Also, remember that the top speed of the train is about 5 miles per hour, and the ride on those solid tires is far from pleasant over a long distance. Sharp turns and deep dips in the road should be avoided, or you may find your train derailed. Remember that you are subject to all of the restrictions of a solid tire forklift, so don't try to drive on the grass. You will never make it. After you have spotted the cars at a clear, hard surface, open the doors carefully to avoid smashed fingers. In the car, you will find a jack which is placed under the crane side of the car. This stabilizes the boxcar when heavy loads are placed on the crane and is necessary. It should be noted here that as with any work done around overhead cranes on the railroad, hard hats are required. Using the ladder, which should be in the car, remove the pin which secures the crane boom to the side of the car and swing the crane out. Next, hook up the crane winch motor to the 12-volt battery, which hopefully is not dead. If it is, there is a 100-amp battery charger in the car. Even if the battery is okay, if you are near an electrical outlet, it would be nice if you were to see that the battery is fully charged before the car leaves you. The next guy may not have that luxury. Next, loosen and remove the car tie-downs on the car in the middle under the crane and swing the crane over the car. Hook the car sling up to the 4 lifting eyes on the car and attach it to the lifting hook on the crane. Carefully take the slack out of the sling, making sure that the sling hooks are still in place. With everything snug, raise the car off the floor enough to permit it to be swung out through the door. Carefully lower the car to the ground where it can be pushed out of the way, and repeat the process for the next car. Removing the locomotive requires special techniques. You will have to climb in, start the engine, and drive the locomotive forward under the crane. Then remove the special sling off the wall next to the unit parking place. This sling is not only heavier, but 2 of the legs of the sling are longer than the others. Attach the sling to the engine with the longer legs being attached to the front of the locomotive and the shorter legs to the back. Lift and turn the engine while carefully swinging it out of the doorway and lowering it to the ground. You would be wise to have the operator become familiar with the locomotive before hooking the cars up to it. Try driving it around and getting the feel for it. You will find a set of steps in the car to help you getting in and out of the engine. The instruments are standard and should be self-explanatory. There are 3 sounding devices on board: the bell, the road horn, and the UP jingle player. The lights are hooked up to a red pilot light in the cab to remind you not to leave them on. there is a separate brake lever for electric brakes on the cars. And now, here is Steve Slater, machinist at the Salt Lake Diesel Shop, to explain some of the maintenance items that you will need to perform at your location.
There's a few maintenance items that are required before operating the mini train, so we have a fun and failure-free event. Let me show you what they are. The number one maintenance item on the mini train is the lubrication of the transmission shifter shaft. We lubricate it by using a white lithium grease with Teflon. A supply will be in the maintenance toolbox on the train itself. Please do not use any heavy grease because it just gums up the works. We accomplish this by lubricating the supports on either end of the shaft, just by using a little spray. And after lubrication, you can move the shaft to see if it's free. We accomplish changing the tire on the car by first disconnecting the car from the train. Then we have to chock the wheels opposite end of the flat. We accomplish this by using the chocks that will be furnished in the caboose. The next step is we have to block up the facade here. And then we jack up the car using the proper pull-back techniques. Then we undo the 4 inside half-inch bolts. Now that we've got the tire undone, we just remove the tire from the axle, put it aside, take the new tire, slip it on the axle, line up the holes, start the bolts, and tighten up the tire. Remove the blocking from the facade and lower the jack. Remove the tire chocks, hook the car back up on the train when we're ready to roll again. The tools that are required to change the tire on the car must be in good working order and UP approved. And the same safety precautions must be applied to changing a tire in a car as it would be on any other Union Pacific shop vehicle.
When loading the engine in cars, simply reverse the unloading process, making sure that they go back in the right order and that they are centered in the yellow area. The walls of the cars have reminders as to which car goes where and what direction they face. When tying the engine down, make sure that it's good and tight. If the locomotive were to get loose, it would demolish everything in its path. When tying down the cars, tighten the tie downs until the tires are visibly loaded down. This will keep the cars snug. Caution should be taken not to tighten the chains too tight, as it's possible to blow the tires out doing so. When everything is tight and secure, replace the car equipment such as ladder, steps, jack, and secure them down. Disconnect the battery and lock down the crane boom. Any equipment missing or damage done at your location will be billed to you, so make sure that you report these problems that you feel was caused by a previous point. On this railroad, you have to take the fun when you can, and the mini train is a great way to involve your family in that fun. We at the Salt Lake Diesel Shop will try our best to make sure that your event is as trouble-free and safe as possible. We can only ask that you do your part as well and treat our little friend as if it were your own. Good luck and happy motoring.